the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City live watch along. Today we're going to be doing Man City's Premier League home or away. Man City's away match against AFC Bournemouth on the south coast of England in what is a high-pressure game, this, for Manchester City. Arsenal have played their game at 3 o'clock. The game finished a few minutes ago. They've won by 1-0 away against Leicester City, so no favour for Manchester City from Leicester City today. Means Arsenal now 5 points clear of City at the top of the Premier League, and Man City need to win this game. Arsenal got their game in hand. I think it's on Wednesday against Everton. They've lost today at home against Aston Villa, so they're under a lot of pressure to try and get something from that game against Arsenal. So there's no guarantee that Arsenal's going to win that game, but Man City need to be making sure that all pressure is being applied to Arsenal, and the best way that we can do that is winning our games and keeping ourselves in contention, and the best way we can do that is winning this game and taking it from there and see what position we end up in. But obviously not winning last weekend against Nottingham Forest puts Man City in a peculiar situation here against Bournemouth, which is a must-win game for Manchester City. And City not won in their last two games against Forest last weekend and against RB Leipzig midweek in the Champions League 2, with Man City coming away with a 1-1 draw and having a big showdown clash in 2.5 weeks at the Etihad against RB Leipzig. So the stakes are getting cranked up. We're getting towards the business end of the season, and the pressure's there. Everything's hotting up. How are the nerves, everybody? So we're going to be previewing everything for the next 23 minutes or so before kickoff for this game. We'll go through the teams. The teams are out. Man City look like they're going with what looks like, anyway, on paper, a front two for this game. So we will speak more about that in just one moment. But before I do crack on with this live watch along, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. It's my way of knowing that you guys are enjoying the live watch alongs. We always aim for 100 likes here. Minimum aim, of course, 100 likes. We are already nearly into double figures. We're 91 away from that goal, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Plenty more Manchester City and plenty more football content to come for you guys to enjoy. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below, and also on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to go and hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget as well, we've got the live chat rolling, so do come and have plenty of interaction in there. Do let me know your score prediction in the live chat. I can see City Till I Die in on the chat, going for a 2-0 victory today for Manchester City. FIFA reckons an easy dub here for Man City, going for a whopping and outrageous claim of 9-0 Manchester City. And Alex, hello, welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I'm hoping Phil Foden's going to play a really good game. I've got him in my betmate team for today, so I'm backing him to have a good game. And to be fair, it looks like Phil Foden, by the lineups anyway on paper, looks like he's going to be going more through the middle rather than out wide, but we'll see. We will see. So Alex says, every time I predict, we drop points, so no prediction. Safe option there. And do you know what? If we end up winning this game, then we're going to come back to this and say, Alex, no more predictions. Stop predicting. When you're not predicting, we're winning. Right now, that is definitely what Manchester City are needing. So, yeah, do let me know your score predictions in the live chat. Also, don't forget as well, let me know where you're tuning in from around the world. That would be much appreciated. So, lastly, just wanted to give a big shout out to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Betmate. If you're based in the UK, it's a UK-based app only due to gambling laws. So, if you want to go and check out Betmate, then that would be much appreciated. Normal rules do apply. You do have to be 18 or over to use the app. You've got to be UK based as well to use the app. But if you tick them 2 boxes, then you can go and check out BetMate. It's a brilliant app. It's much like fantasy football. It allows you to be in control. So you're selecting 7 players, 1 goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, 2 attackers. You enter the pot, and the person that finishes top of the pot wins the highest prize. So this pot for Bournemouth today is worth £500. So it's paying up to the top 30 places. So if you finish in 30th place, you win a little bit of money. 29 gets a little bit more, etc., etc., right up to first place, who's winning £150 today. So somebody who's in the pot is going to be £150 richer come the end of the 90 minutes for this game. I'm in the pot, so yeah, we'll speak about BetMate in just one moment. I'm just going to get the link up so I can just put it in the chat for you guys, so you can go and check that out. But the link is in the description, and any help towards interactions with BetMate, my video sponsor for today, would be much appreciated. BetMate are also running it's a new game. So what you do is they put in this week's pot. I'm not too sure if it's every single pot's going to be 12 games, but they've put 12 games in there, and it's working on a point-by-point basis where you predict if it's going to be a home win or an away win or a draw. You get 12 matches, and the person that's scoring the highest points. So you don't necessarily have to get 12 out of 12 correct. You might get 8 out of 12 correct, but if you're the only person that's got 8 correct, or you've scored the most points for that pot, then you get placed, and you can win some money that way as well. So that's a new game that's been introduced. I've entered today's one that they've done, as it was a freebie. So you can go and check that out. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed working with BetMate. So yeah, any help towards that would be much appreciated. I do have the link now, so you can go and check that out in the description. So my BetMate team for today, I've gone with a very heavy Man City team. So I've got my BetMate team locked and loaded right here. I've got Neto in goal for Bournemouth. On the bench, I've put Randolph rather than Ederson because I felt like I was wasting a City player. And because I'm allowed to select 6 City players, I've gone with 6 outfield players. So I think Neto's going to make more saves than Ederson, and I don't think Ederson's going to keep a clean sheet. And because of that, I've given the nod to Neto instead. And I felt like having Ederson on the bench was a little bit of a waste of having a City player on the bench. So instead, got 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, 2 attackers who are all City based. So my defenders today, I've got Ruben Dias and Nathan Ake. My midfielders today are Ilkay Gundogan and Phil Foden. And up top, I've got Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland. On the bench, I've got Randolph, Stevens, Billing and Solanke. So that's my BetMate team. So hopefully that'll be the team that sees me do really well in this pot. That would be absolutely fantastic. As I mentioned, £500 pot, paying up to the top 30 places. Entry fee is £5. However, if you download the app using my link and at sign up, you use code JSGC10. That's JSGC10. Then you'll get £10 in free bets, and you'll be able to join this pot for free using your free bet. We've currently got not that many in the pot right now. We've got just under 60. I imagine it'll get a little bit busier towards kickoff. You've got 11 minutes to go and join, so go and check that out. That would be much appreciated. The pot code is FF-BOU-MCI. That's FF-BOU-MCI. So go and check them out. That would be much appreciated. Ethan, welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Saying City greater than Arsenal Football Club. Game prediction. My score prediction. I'm going to go through the teams and then I'll give my score prediction just after that. More blessings. Thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated. Haaland never scored past Bournemouth at the Etihad when we beat them 4-0 back in August. Can he get a goal today, or have Bournemouth got his number? That is the question. Mike, thanks very much for tuning in as well. And do enjoy your live stream too. And Nayana as well. Thank you very much for tuning in all the way from the lovely island of Sri Lanka. So thank you very much for tuning in. Ethan going for a 4-1 victory today to Manchester City. So I'm going to get the teams locked and loaded so we can speak about that. Got today's drink choice, glass with ice. The ice is nearly melted as I was setting this up. about nearly an hour ago, getting all this sorted, watching Sky Sports News, keeping an eye on the 3 o'clock games. So ice is near enough melted, but today's choice of drink once more is the Strongbow Original. I don't know why, but Strongbow Original, I went through a phase of really enjoying it, and then went years where I couldn't really drink it, didn't like it that much, and then over the last 6-7 weeks or so, I don't know why, I've just had a real craving for Strongbow Original. So that's today's choice of drink, as Lime's going for a 3-1 victory for Manchester City. Might go in for a 2-1 victory today for Manchester City. So I'll give my score prediction just after I've gone through the team. So I've got the teams up here. So we'll start with our opponents first, AFC Bournemouth. They're starting in goal, Neto. It looks like a back 5 from them. So right wing back is Adam Smith, left wing back Jordan Zamora. A back 3 of Jack Stevens, Chris Metham and Marcus Sensei. And then a midfield 4, Dango Quatra on the right-hand side, Hamed Traore on the left-hand side, and Jefferson Lerma partnering with Phillip Billing. And up top is their number 9, Dominic Solanke. Neto, their captain for today. On the bench for Bournemouth, they've got Darren Randolph and Mark Travers, their 2 goalkeepers. Also on the bench, Ryan Fredericks, Jack Stacey, Joe Rothwell, Ryan Christie, Kiefer Moore, Jaden Anthony and Antoine Semenyo is their bench for today. Marcus Tavenier, I'm not too sure why he's not in the squad and whether he's picked up an injury. So I did have him originally. If you watched my preview, I had him in the team for my bet mate, so I've had to substitute him out. I don't let rotation catch me out, chopping and changing my bet mate, keeping things fresh for what I think is going to happen. And that is looking very, very defensive from Bournemouth today. So maybe, little tip, if you are taking part with BetMate, links and details there in the description, and you're selecting your players for this game, if Bournemouth are going to sit really tight and do a really good defensive job, quite a few of their defensive players could score really well. So might be something to look at. I think Man City are going to break them down and score the goals, hence my team's made up of Manchester City players. So your Manchester City starting 11 for today. Starting in goal, number 31, Ederson. Looks like a back 3 through Manchester City. Could be a back 4, depending on if we're on the ball or not. So we'll just go with what's been put on here on the team sheet, which on the right-hand side is going to be number 82, Rico Lewis. Left-hand side, number 6, Nathan Ake. Centre-backs today, number 25, Manuel Akanji, and number 3, Ruben Dias. So Akanji will sit on the right-hand side of a back 3, Nathan Ake on the left-hand side, and I'm expecting Ruben Dias to go through the middle. Rico Lewis is going to be inverted as the City's fullback, and he's going to sit alongside Rodri in holding midfield. That will allow a little bit more space for Ilkay Gundogan to push further forward, and it could be a case where Julian Alvarez is operating as City's second striker, who will sit at the top end of that midfield for Manchester City, with Erling Haaland starting as our striker today. So it could be Phil Foden on the right hand side and Jack Grealish on the left hand side. However, honestly, lots depends on how Man City want to approach this, because it could be just a simple, straightforward Phil Foden sitting behind the 2 strikers. City not really going with much width. Jack Grealish will support Phil Foden via the left-hand side, and Rico Lewis will have a little bit more freedom on the right-hand side. But I would have thought if City would go in with that, they'd have probably started Kyle Walker rather than Rico Lewis. And I suspect Rico Lewis is going to sit tighter to Rodri than what Kyle Walker would. Kyle Walker, if he was starting this game, I would have thought would have had more of a freedom on that right wing. So I suspect it's going to be Foden on the right-hand side, Jack Grealish on the left-hand side, and Julian Alvarez is going to play as a second striker behind Erling Haaland, with Rodri and Ilkay Gundogan supporting in midfield, with Rodri hanging a bit deeper, with Rico Lewis cutting into the middle when City are on the ball, and off the ball could stretch into a back 4 or a back 3. We'll have to wait and see. Ilkay Gundogan, Manchester City's captain for today. On the substitute bench, City 2 goalkeepers are Stefan Ortega-Moreno and Scott Carson. Also on the bench for Manchester City today is Kyle Walker, Sergio Gomez, Kalvin Phillips, Maximo Perrone, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Riyad Mahrez. Aymeric Laporte not fit enough to make the squad today. However, the good news is Kevin De Bruyne is fit enough to make the squad, so that means he should be good to go for City's big Premier League game against Newcastle United next weekend, which is good news, and he could even be in contention for City's FA Cup in midweek in our clash against Bristol City away from home in the 5th round. We'll have to wait and see. I imagine a lot of them players that are on the bench for City today will be starting against Bristol City, in particular players that are needing a fair few minutes, the likes of Sergio Gomez, Kalvin Phillips. We may even see Maximo Perrone on Tuesday evening make his Man City debut. He could make his debut today. He's in the squad once more. He gets the nod over the likes of Cole Palmer, which is showing you that Maximo Perrone, whilst in training, and we've not had a chance to see him in first-team competitive action, he's clearly on the training pitch doing something right, which is absolutely fantastic. So, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. We're now on to 16 likes. We're 84 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well, TikTok link in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Social media links in the description on the yellow banner too. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, email also in the description if you want to go and hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the live chat, including your score and team prediction for this game. Just popping back to the chat. Who else have we got? More things wanting Haaland to go and do his thing. I hope you are right. Ethan going 4-1 City. Limes going 3-1 Man City. Mike going 2-1 Manchester City. Limes reckons Erling Haaland hat-trick incoming for City today. Ethan reckons goals for Erling Haaland twice, along with a goal for Jack Grealish and Phil Foden. But he does think that Kevin De Bruyne should be starting in this game. Julia, good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in once more. Much appreciated. And Dad, much appreciated for tuning in as well. Hello, hope you're well. Going for a 2-0 victory today for Manchester City. I've gone through the teams. My score prediction today, I'm sticking with what I said on my preview. I think this will be both teams to score. I think there's going to be 3 goals in this game. I'm going for a narrow 2-1 victory for Manchester City today. The most important thing for City today is 3 points. Arsenal have won. That means we must win. Keep the pressure onto Arsenal. They've got their game in hand coming up on Wednesday. The last thing we want is more drop points today, and Arsenal having the chance on Wednesday evening against Everton to go 7 or potentially 8 points clear at the top 2 weeks after Man City had beaten them in their own backyard. We cannot afford for that to happen. The way we don't make that happen, winning today, 2 points behind. They've got the game in hand, and we'll see if we get a favour off Everton. Julia going for a comfortable, and I hope you're right, 3-0 victory today for Man City. A clean sheet would be a blessing. A clean sheet would be brilliant. Hopefully, but the most important thing is plus 3 points for Manchester City at the end of this game. Alec, thanks very much for tuning in. Confident that Man City are going to be picking up a victory today. Alec, what's your score prediction then, with the confidence that you've got going into this game? And is it any wonder the City fans are confident? Sky Sports were in the build-up to this game saying City have met Bournemouth 11 times in the Premier League. 11 times, home and away. All 11 games in the Premier League, Manchester City have won. So Man City got a brilliant record against Bournemouth when it comes to the Premier League. At home, we tend to hand out more goals. We tend to play a little bit freer and look a little bit better. Away from home, games here at Dean Court can be very close, very narrow games. And I suspect today is going to be no different. But hopefully what we'll see is a good attacking game. Bournemouth look like they're going to be parking the bus. They're going to be sitting very deep. They're going to be very defensive. City need to break them down, create their opportunities, and make sure, most importantly, defensively sound today. Alec going for a 4-0 victory today for Manchester City. Ethan, confident of the victory. City till I die going 2-0 for Manchester City today. And Limes, I'm on your wavelength. I'm not bothered as long as it's 3 points for Man City today. It could be a 94th minute corner goal, 1-0 Manchester City, I'm not fussed. At the end of the day, all I care about right now, we're at this really nitty-gritty part of the season. All that matters right now is Man City winning this game, and we've got to do that any which way that we can. Ideally, clean sheet, professional performance, 3 or 4 goals would be beautiful. However, the most important thing, win this game. Win this game, move on to the next one. Try and get some momentum. We haven't won 3 games in a row. We haven't put a run of form together all season, and that's what we're craving. And we thought the page had been turned, beat Villa at home after the Premier League put these allegations out against Manchester City and charged us over 100 charges, beat Arsenal away from home, we're top of the Premier League, everything's good, everyone's enjoying themselves. We were beating Nottingham Forest, we were looking good, we were creating opportunities, we don't put our chances away, they sucker punches in the 84th minute, and all of a sudden, after playing what I've regarded as over the last few games pretty well, we've just seemed to have lost a little bit of our oomph. Our little bit of confidence has just gone away from the team, where they need to be strong, they need to be backing themselves. Leipzig, be confident, be cool about it. We've gone to Germany. I'm fairly sure RB Leipzig picked up a result against Real Madrid in the group stages. We've picked up a draw in Germany. We haven't lost that game. That's a good result. So it's just a shame away goals don't count, because 1-1, I'd be very happy, because it means Leipzig have to do something at the Etihad. But because I've got rid of that rule now, it's a showdown clash, and I think people just feel a little bit nervous about it. But I'm confident. I'm hoping City are going to win this game. We're going to enjoy the ride nonetheless, I'm sure. So sit back, relax. Players are in the tunnel, and it's nearly time for the talking to be done on the pitch, rather than me waffling at home to the camera. Alex saying, hoping the referee or VAR don't ruin by giving what the Premier League are wanting and what they're looking for. There's nothing worse. There's absolutely nothing worse than having your season defined by fine margins, and then fine margins being through no fault of your own, and it's coming from officials not doing their job. It is horrible. So Man City, though, they know that VAR and the referees might be against them. They know that the Premier League officials are awful. So go out there and give them nothing. Be squeaky clean and give them nothing that can go against us. Score your goals. Make sure they're clean. Don't do stupid fouls. Don't do this. Don't do that. That's what Man City need to do. Play the system. They're smart. They're professional. They've got the talent. They've got the work rate there. Apply it. That's what City need to do. Boy Racer, thanks very much for tuning in as well. Saying exactly, win, good performance. Win, bad performance. Lose, good performance. Lose, bad performance is my order of preference. 100%. Anything but a win. Anything as long as it is a win for Man City today. That is exactly what we need. As the players have made their way out of the tunnel. Man City wearing their Bumblebee kits today. Our 3rd kit. With, I thought we'd have gone in blue, but there we go. Dudley, hello, thanks very much for tuning in. George, thanks very much for tuning in as well. Saying, Haaland, please stay on the last defender, and midfielders, please give him some work to chase the ball and run. Some through balls to Haaland, wouldn't that be brilliant? Erling Haaland have been a big talking point before this game. Is he getting the service? Is Haaland improving Manchester City? Of course. He's a striker that scores goals. He scored 32 goals this season in all competitions. Man City need to find a way of getting Haaland on the ball in that 18-yard box. Put him in them positions to score. Because if we do, guess what? His stats show it. He'll put it in the back of the net. That's what City need to do. Limes asks, what's my favourite Man City kit of all time? Cash your minds back, I think it was 2009, 2010. We had our red and black away strip, much like this one, but it was just, instead of it being diagonal, just horizontal going down, much like AC Milan strip. That is one of the best shirts I've ever had, and the material that Umbro were producing at the time was nothing short of fantastic. Although I will add that over the last couple of weeks I've seen the First Advice sponsors from 2003, 2004. They're getting classed as a retro kit, and it's one of the first City kits that I had. I used to as a kid, I used to love getting all the City shirts. Made sure I had all the home and all the away shirts. There was one with the stripe going across. There was a white one with a red and black stripe going across. I know we had Nika and Elka at the time. It was a beautiful, beautiful kit. These are now getting classed as retro kits over the last couple of weeks, and it made me feel old. Made me feel really old, and I'm only 27. So it made me feel really old. But yeah, they're right up there. Some of my favourite City kits, if I'm honest. Alec, thanks very much for tuning in. Thanks for your kind comment there as well. I tried for my commentary to be up to date, regular, passionate, professional, but also entertaining and accurate. And I try and be as unbiased as possible, but being a City fan, obviously, it's going to come across with the points that I'm trying to make. But I do try and be as fair as I can. If I'm honest, we can't do any more, can we? If I'm completely honest. Alex says City made me bold. 57 years. Wow. And Dad, thanks, I am old. Rightio, we're nearly ready for kickoff. Bournemouth's going to get us underway here, and they do get us underway for kickoff as Man City press and force a mistake straight away here. And Bournemouth did have possession from kickoff, and City have managed to win it back just inside City's own half here, and City can gather up a bit of possession and stop Bournemouth from putting a potential ball forward to try and make something happen. Just having a look at Bournemouth's setup here, already starting to sit a little bit deep, and Solanke, he's a tall lad, isn't he, Solanke, as Ruben Dias plays a good pass into Haaland, and Man City early chance here to come forward. Alvarez whipped the ball, back post, Grealish heads it towards goal again. Grealish has a shot this time and out for a corner to Manchester City. Good stuff, 37 seconds in there from Man City. I've put Jack Grealish in my betmate team for today, and I've put him in there because I think Jack Grealish is going to have another good game for Manchester City. The creator, thanks very much for tuning in. Going for a 7-0 victory for Manchester City. Boy Razor says, wait till you get to his age. The retro nights at nightclubs are what you listened to when you was in the nightclub. The golden oldies. Oh, I like that. I like that. We all get old with grace. Ah, man. Creator going 7-0. Wouldn't 7-0 be a thing of beauty? City just haven't looked like they're going to be scoring 7 goals at over the last few weeks, have they? Have we actually looked really fluent in a game since that United home match that we put 6 past them? Off the top of my head, I can't think of a game where City have created so much since. There's always 3 or 4 really good opportunities in there, apart from that little phase that City were going through of creating nothing in the game for 2 or 3 games. That was a frustrating time. As Bournemouth just trying to work their way around City, just pass it out of play for a throw into City. Excuse me. So it is the back 3 from City of Akanji, Diaz and Ake. Here's Foden, he's gone on the right-hand side, and he's pressed. And Billing here as Bournemouth attack with numbers. 5 get forward. Work to the left-hand side. A cross can come in from Bournemouth. It's deep, and it's not one at the back post. And eventually, Ruben Dias, I think, managed to get a block onto one of the Bournemouth players' shots. As here's Julian Alvarez just coming forward. He wants to play in Erling Haaland. Intercepted by the Bournemouth defender there, but Ilkay Gundogan can intercept, and City can have a little bit of the ball once more. So Bournemouth just showing that they have got a bit of attacking presence about them, and they're not just here to put 10 men in front of the ball and Dominic Solanke. They're prepared to get players forward an attack with numbers there. 5 getting forward. Obviously having a good look at how Nottingham Forest played against City last week, sitting deep and absorbing City. But when they were attacking and coming forward, they make sure that the numbers are there, that something can happen. Already clipping a ball from the left-hand side, sending it deep and causing City some problems, which could be the direction that this game does head in. So remember, this is a very important game for Manchester City. Arsenal already won today against Leicester away from home. A good victory for them. They've got the game in hand coming up against Everton on Wednesday evening. So Man City really need to win this game. Really need to win this game. Ederson takes a touch across his body there. Gives it to Manuel Akanji. He cannot get that clear and he's forced into a mistake, and it forces Rico Lewis just to put that ball out of play for a throw-in to allow City to get back. And that was just a little bit too casual, that, from both Ederson and from Manuel Akanji. I felt like Ederson there played the comfortable, safe pass to Akanji. Akanji was always getting pressed and the issue was always going to be there. And I just felt like Ederson there was moving the blame away from him with a distribution error and more looking towards Akanji to do something. When in actual fact, Ederson was in a better situation to have got that ball clear than what Akanji was, and the ball got given away. Thankfully, Lewis was there to mop that up and put it out of play for a throw-in that nothing further comes of that. But that's again just something I think City need to be careful of. I've got the commentary on very quiet. It'd be really good if the broadcasters put on an option of no commentators and just have the crowd. I can see Amazon Prime Video going down that kind of route, if they haven't already. The City have been a little bit sloppy with the ball so far, and Bournemouth can come away with the ball. And first 6 minutes or so, I feel like we've just got two teams here that are trying to suss each other out. And Man City used to be so good. First 10, 15 minutes, forcing our opponents on the back foot, attacking them. Whereas I've just got a feeling that a lot of games this season, Man City haven't been taking the games to any of these teams. They've just been doing what they do, holding the ball, passing the ball, moving the ball, in the hope that they can create something rather than really forcing it and putting ourselves into a really strong position, because there's no better prep for this game than Man City first 10 minutes, all guns blazing, finding an opening goal and ruining Bournemouth's game plan. As Rodri's going to have a little rocket, he goes for an effort, not too far away, put over the top of the crossbar and also just wide as well. He was about 30 yards out there, always swinging away, and hits the post that's holding the net up rather than the post of the frame of the goal. The busy bees. That I'm hoping you're right there, Alec, that they're going to be busy scoring goals today, which would be brilliant. As it is right now, we're 7 minutes in. It's AFC Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 0. Neto sends the ball long, and Man City get themselves a free kick for a handball, which Man City are going to work short. Here's Ruben Dias receiving a pass from Manuel Akanji, running through the centre, gives it to Nathan Ake. There's a big gap between defence and midfield. Does give City a little bit of space behind, though, and that's a good ball to find Jack Grealish. Here's Erling Haaland, works a ball across the box, looking for Alvarez. Bournemouth work themselves into a bit of bother. They do find the pass, and they can get it clear, though. And Man City, through a lucky block there from Rico Lewis, means City can have a little bit of possession once more. That was a good idea from Manchester City. Again, the right idea being used, and I imagine City here will be looking for a lot of movement. And what I'd like to see from City is less touches of the ball and more direct movement would be really good. As Rico Lewis picks the ball up here, 35 yards out from goal, gives it to Rodri. Here's Manuel Akanji now. As City's defensive line really pushed forward, and Bournemouth have got every player back at the moment. Here is Akanji, gives it to Rodri. Gundogan now works it to the left-hand side, and Nathan Ake can receive the ball. He is in a crossing position, but he doesn't look interested in putting a crosser in. And this is what I was going on about again. City don't really seem to have much directness to their play. There's a chance to put something into the box there. City have got players forward. There's 4 forward. There's a chance to put something into the box and instead choose the safe sideways or backwards pass. And it could sometimes just take the momentum away. Well, a 6'4" striker who loves scoring goals. Put something of quality into the box. He's good with his movement. He's good with his feet. He can be good in the air. I think we have to refer back to what was said in that All or Nothing documentary back from 2017. When Fabian Delph mentioned going back to the basics of football. You don't need to complicate things sometimes. Sometimes you receive the ball, you're in a good position to put a ball into the box. Put a ball into the box. Put something good into the box. You can ask the question of the attackers and say, why wasn't you there? Here's Rodri. Works it to the left-hand side. Here's Jack Grealish. Goes up against Adam Smith. Takes him on to the byline. Tries to put a ball into the box. Smith manages to get his studs onto it, so Bournemouth can momentarily get it clear. That's good work from Rico Lewis, and Phil Foden's trying to just pepper a pass through. Eventually goes for a shot, which is blocked. Rodri gives it to Nathan Ake. He makes a direct run. Gives it to Jack Grealish on the edge of the penalty area. Here's Rodri. And he wants handball there. He doesn't get it, and Bournemouth can break away. And again, we're at this situation where they're too busy looking for the pass and not enough looking for the ball into the box. It's good defending for Manuel Akanji. He stops the counter-attack threat from Bournemouth, and Man City can actually come forward themselves as Ilkay Gundogan wants a free kick. He's pleading for a free kick. Doesn't get one. That's a poor pass from Bournemouth, and Man City can come away. Erling Haaland makes a direct run. Jack Grealish doesn't use Erling Haaland's run there. We'll count it. How many times does Erling Haaland point where he wants the ball for a through ball to be played and it doesn't happen? There's the first. It's taken 11 minutes. Let's see how many times it happens in this game. Pep Guardiola spoke about it after the Leipzig game, saying, is Erling Haaland frustrated? He said it's fine to get frustrated. He gets frustrated. Everybody gets frustrated. He's frustrated because there's a chance for a ball to be played and City don't play that ball. So we just had our first. Jackie G, the culprit. Man City starting just to turn the screw ever so slightly. They haven't turned it into shots on goal and forcing Neto into saves and City knocking on the door, but the screw's been turned. So notice how City just working their way with fewer touches. The back line pushes itself a little bit further forward. The players are dropping into the space better. And it causes problems, and that's poor feet there. I think that was from Jefferson Lerma, and he's lucky he gets away with it as the ball's onto the concourse. It's a strange ground Dean Court. Really small. I think it holds 12,000. Their concourse is right at the bottom, so you've got to come out and you're at pitch side. You're literally right on the side of the pitch, and then you've got to work your way up the stand, and the stand can't be any more than 20 rows. I quite like it. It's just really small for a Premier League ground. It always seems to be sold out, and there was when Bournemouth first came to the Premier League concerns over this stadium, and I thought they were going to join up the corners of the ground to expand it, but it hasn't happened. As a direct ball comes forward towards Haaland. There we go. Better. Haaland makes the run. The through ball, albeit a long ball, but a long through ball comes in. Haaland just can't get on the end of it, but that's better. That's the right idea. 13 minutes in then, 0-0. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. We're now 76 likes away from 100 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. Links and details, they're in the description and also in the live chat. Neto. Oh, he's dicing with it there. He shows a little bit too much of that ball to Julian Alvarez. He's forced into a rush clearance, which was nearly intercepted by Erling Haaland. And in the end, Bournemouth do really well to not only get hold of the ball, but get themselves a throw in. Pep Guardiola looks frustrated. He picks up a water bottle. It looks like he's going to take a drink, put that lid back on and slam it on the ground. Bournemouth playing football. They've sat deeper. That's a great interception from Rico Lewis. Alvarez now gives it to Gundogan, 30 yards out, chip towards the back post, and Phil Foden tackled. Haaland hits the crossbar and tapped in by Julian Alvarez to get the opening goal for Man City. Cue it up. How Foden didn't score, I don't know. How Haaland didn't score, I don't know. Julian Alvarez puts it into the roof of the net. I tell you what, if he'd hit the crossbar there, I would have been seething. But Man City do find that opening goal inside the opening 15 minutes. And it's the World Cup winner, the man who doesn't seem to get as many minutes as what you think that he would, poking it home. I am just going to hold back putting the score in just to make sure this goal is squeaky clean. Foden was onside and the ball played forward. Haaland had the shot onto the crossbar. So Foden was tackled by Neto. So Gundogan chips the ball into Phil Foden. He tries to round the keeper. Neto makes the tackle. Haaland has the shot, which is deflected onto the crossbar. And Alvarez follows that up onside at the back post to make it Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 1. And that is what Man City needed. Julian Alvarez's 5th Premier League goal of the season. And finally, City do have shots, and when they do, they've found the opening goal. And what Man City now need to do is the lesson to be learned from Nottingham Forest, which is find that killer second goal. Keep pushing and keep going. Akanji does well, holds off his runner, finds the pass. Through ball comes into Haaland. They're trying these through balls to Haaland. It wasn't a very good one, so it was intercepted by, I think it was from... Was it Metham? And they're messing about again at the back here, Bournemouth. They do well, though. They do really well. Ah, very nice. And on a nice, fine February Saturday evening, Manchester City find the opening goal. The spider with the goal, and I'm happy that Julie is making use of the emoji which she has access to due to being a member of the JSGC channel. So if you want access to that as well, go and become a member by pressing that join button next to the subscribe button. And Solanke's made a run here, which Bournemouth can't thread through, and Jack Grealish manages to get City a free kick. And that'll ease the pressure on the goal here for Manchester City. And it's been a rather comfortable 17 minutes for Man City so far. But that's because City have played well. They've looked to create opportunities. They've looked to play them through balls in. They've pressed really, really well. They've made the interceptions. And Ederson plays a very risky pass to Rodri there. If Rodri got intercepted, they'd have been in for a tap-in. And City have been caught out a couple of times this season from... not necessarily from mistakes being made from distribution, but more just not being visually aware of what's around the players as you're playing a pass. need to have a look and sometimes realise the pass might be on, but if a player's being put under pressure, and there we go. Ederson plays a pass that wasn't on and Bournemouth intercept, and it could have been much more costly, that, for Man City. City managed to close the gaps very well, very quickly, to force Bournemouth backwards. And I was critical of Bournemouth when I said they were faffing around, and sometimes Man City guilty of faffing around. Haaland manages to take a touch. Here is Gundogan receiving a pass off Foden. Foden's looked very lively his first 18 minutes for City. Here's Rico Lewis. He's also looked lively. Looks full of energy. Looks refreshed. He's had a few games where he hasn't played. And of all the players that sit in the hole and invert themselves really well, arguably the best of the bunch has been Rico Lewis. He's just struggled in a couple of games when we've gone up against the really, really good teams. But when we're not sitting and playing against the likes of Arsenal and Manchester United, etc., etc., for the majority of the time, you can use Rico Lewis. And in the FA Cup game, I thought Rico Lewis against Arsenal looked a little bit suspect. And we've not really seen him since because of that game. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe he's not been working as hard on the training pitch. I don't know. Or maybe City have looked for other options. But what I do know is Rico Lewis looked so good for the large majority of the time when he's been playing for City. And his game looks no different. And he just looks comfortable. He just looks so good. He reads the game really well. He doesn't leave the side of Rodri. He sits where he needs to be. He's an additional body in the right place at the right time. He's a little gem. A through ball gets played. Haaland in the penalty area. Shot! Takes a deflection and out for a corner. City are playing these more through balls, and City are getting Haaland more involved. Haaland's scoring today, isn't he? Haaland's scoring today. He looks hungry. City are playing them balls in. Corner here for City, 21 minutes in. Dias forward, Rodri forward, Ake forward. Corner from Foden. And it's a good header and it's just wide. Ruben Dias wins it low down. That needed somebody at the back post to follow it in. Good movement that from City. Nobody's there at the back post. Nobody's there. Ilkay Gundogan stood in space in the middle of nowhere. He needed to be at the back post. And you know what? I'm surprised Gundogan wasn't. There isn't a better player out there at reading movement and being at the back post at the right time to get tap-ins. Anyway, here's what it is. City still lead here by 1-0. 22 minutes in. As we're now 75 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button. Press the bell and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. City are dropping deeper and receiving these through balls as well, which is really helping City. City sitting in the holes really well. That's not the greatest of passes to Phil Foden and the ball gets given away. And should have gone first time there, Bournemouth. They go towards the near post and Ederson can collect that one. If he'd gone first time there, if he'd looked up and had a look at what was available, Solanke had peeled away from the defender. Akanji had stepped forward. And if he goes first time, the Solanke's goal side of Nathan Ake then. Kane, thanks very much for tuning in, saying we seem a better team when Julian Alvarez is playing. I think he just drops deeper, better than what Erling Haaland does when he's starting on his own. He receives the ball. If Alvarez receives the ball, Haaland knows that he can play off the defender. If Haaland drops deeper to receive the ball, Alvarez knows he can either drop deeper for support and have an extra body there, or he can stay forward. You have that option there. I think the problem we might face with a front two is defensively we might look a little bit more suspect. But we've been conceding one a game anyway. So if we're going to look defensively suspect, attacking-wise, we might as well look good. If we're going to concede, you may as well, you know, be in a position where you're able to score 2 or 3. That's out for a corner. Not given. That looked like it went out. I'm not complaining. City can come forward then. Here is Julian Alvarez for City, working it to the right-hand side. Foden just drifts past his marker. Rico Lewis now. To Alvarez. Rodri inside the Bournemouth half. Manuel Akanji to Rodri. Nathan Ake in space. Jack Grealish wanted the ball, doesn't get the ball, goes back to this right-hand side. A lot of these attacks have been down the right-hand side. Akanji tries to play a ball to Haaland, intercepted. Not the best of passes, that from Akanji. And Bournemouth, a weak free kick, not given. And Bournemouth, the player stays down, and referee's going to stop the play now for a head injury. They do need to score at gain lines, I do agree. Does he even touch his head? He doesn't. That looked like I'm trying to buy a free kick. I didn't get a free kick, so I'm going to stay down so I can stop play. Here's Ruben Dias then for Man City. Plays a ball into Gundogan. His touch is heavy, and Bournemouth can come away with the ball. And Bournemouth not scared to get players forward. Might cause City problems. It also leaves them a bit suspect if they give the ball away. They nearly did, but they keep hold of it. And Solanke now. To Zamora, played into space, and Bournemouth want a penalty. Referee's in a good position, says no, and they have a shot, and it's blocked well. And in the end, Man City managed to get themselves a goal kick. There's nothing in that. That's good defending from City. Bournemouth haven't looked bad. When they wanted to come forward, yeah. And here's Gundogan now. Can he play that through ball? He tries. Haaland, Alvarez, Foden all beat the offside trap there. It needed a better pass. Neto, the goalkeeper, came rushing off his line there, ready to meet Erling Haaland. That needed a better pass. And the offside flag goes up against Solanke. Bournemouth are getting bodies forward. This is an open game of football, this. It's a good game of football as well. Solanke was offside. That's good officiating. A nice early flag as well. Not letting play build up. I've got a good position. He's offside. My flag's up. Sorted. Correct decision made. Not a real fan of that ruling of leaving the flag late up. I think it encourages linesmen or linespeople to make the correct decision. I think it encourages them to think, if I keep my flag down, VAR can help me make a decision to get the correct decision, rather than backing myself to make that correct decision with my call on the field there and then. So that's good. Good officiating. Here is Solanke now. Bournemouth again getting forward. 7 players forward. Cross comes in. Takes a deflection into the hands of Ederson. There's space. I think there's going to be goals in this game. Boy, Racer, you're absolutely spot on. Someone might be 2-3 yards offside, but you've got to keep the flag down. And then if they're going one-on-one with the keeper might rush off and they might bring them down or injure them, and it'll end up leading to a problem for something that eventually the flag will go up because they know that it's offside. I'm not a fan of that ruling. Really not a fan. Here's Gundogan into the penalty area. Deep ball! Haaland! Erling Haaland, I said he had a goal in him. I said he had a goal in him. Clinical Manchester City. One ball forward towards Phil Foden. Played to the back post. Who's there to stab home? Erling Haaland back in the goals. Man City creating, looking good. And most importantly, a killer second goal. Gundogan onside. Takes one touch. Deep ball towards Foden. Foden looked like he was just going to tap that in himself. And Zamora makes the interception. It's straight to off Foden's shin. Straight to Erling Haaland. And 2-0 to Manchester City. And this is good from City. Now what Man City need to do is kill this game off. Get a third before half-time and kill this game off. Mark, thanks very much for tuning in. Rising, thanks very much for tuning in. Seamus, thanks very much for tuning in as well. It's very nice to see Haaland back in amongst the goals. And that's how to play for a throw-in to Manchester City. Gundogan goes down, gets a tackle onto his shin, free kick given. And as I said, City just need to push, kill this game off, get this killed off before half-time. Start thinking about Bristol City on Tuesday evening and a chance of getting to a potential FA Cup quarter-final, because more so this season than any other season, really. I feel like Man City really need to take the FA Cup seriously. If we're trailing in the Premier League and we've got work to do in the Champions League, you know, we've got a difficult match, a lower league team in Bristol City of the Championship. We're right up for that. Sold out crowd. Need to be on it. Franklin, thanks very much for tuning in. And John, hello. Thank you very much for tuning in as well. Set piece comes in towards the back post. It misses everybody. And out for a goal kick to Bournemouth. I thought the best of balls in that from Ilkay Gundogan. Again, Bournemouth faffing around at the back. They're insistent with it. And they do well. They do really well there, Bournemouth. Oh, that's a cracking back heel, and Bournemouth got a chance to put a ball into the box. Flashes across. Billing. And Lerma has a shot, and it's high and it's wide. And I tell you what, as I've said before, Bournemouth have attacked with numbers. They haven't sat deep. City have found the space. City have punished Bournemouth when they've needed to. Bournemouth might only be little chances, but they've had chances nonetheless. So 32 minutes in. Manchester City lead here away from home by 2-0. So Rico Lewis dispossessed. And Bournemouth get it. It's a good interception from Ilkay Gundogan. Here's Rodri. There's not much space. And Limes, I do agree. It still looks like a very open game. City are 2-0 up. I genuinely don't think that that Bournemouth are gonna sit off Man City here. This might be a game where Man City go on to score 4 or 5. they'll get my respect for how they've played and how they've approached the game. Gomez to play second half. You might be right. You might well be right. Not had many minutes, has he? I tell you what, if we can get a third, I would be bringing the likes of Phillips and Gomez. These are where they need important minutes in their legs. It's pointless just giving players no minutes and then just in the cup games say, here you go, I have 90 minutes now and put in an impressive display when you've not played for 6-7 games. This is where you need to find and utilise the bench and give players 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. The start here, give them an hour. You know, give them a rest, bring them on, keep the squad rotated. So, yeah, if City can get a third, the likes of Gomez and Kalvin Phillips, I'd be bringing them on. And I'd be starting them in the cup game as well against Bristol City. That's a foul, Rico Lewis. He might be lucky to not go in the book here for that. Foot was high. It was late. I think Rico Lewis was just a little bit overexcited there. A little bit too eager. As we're now 69 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. So Bournemouth wanted a handball against Man City, not given. Jack Grealish, good player, pass forward to Erling Haaland. Bournemouth managed to get a good interception on Rico Lewis and they can break forward now. Manuel Akanji going up against Dominic Solanke. Solanke manages to still keep hold of the ball before Akanji does well and makes a tackle. And that will be a corner. I think Bournemouth's by their first corner of the game. Who's this Kalvin Phillips that you speak of? He's like the Loch Ness Monster. Only a rumour. He's a myth. Just a name that we see on a piece of paper or online on the team sheet, but we don't actually get to see him in action. Corner and sent deep. Header won. They want a handball and it's not fully cleared by City, and eventually it is. Man City get their defensive line pushed out. A ball gets sent back in. Eventually Man City can get it clear and Jack Grealish can take the touch to bring it down, and that's a good pass from Rodri, a disguised pass to Erling Haaland, and here come Man City on the counter-attack. Here is Phil Foden now. He's going to get surrounded out, and Bournemouth can come away with the ball there. Needed to find his feet a little bit quicker there, Phil Foden, and Bournemouth again, look, full of energy, looking to get forward. Pass comes in, the flag stays down. Edge of the penalty area, gets pulled back across, shot comes in, and a header over the top of the crossbar from Ruben Dias. And out for another corner to Bournemouth. I mean, it's a tight one. Tight one. Good defending from Ruben Dias in the end. Takes a brave... I mean, Ederson had it covered, but takes a brave header instead and heads it over the top of the crossbar and out for a corner. So Bournemouth looking to try and get back into this game after all, needing goal to get back into this, being 2-0 down. Man City, of course, looking to try and keep a clean sheet. Some people not kept in a fair few games. Corner gets sent in, headed down towards the edge of their own penalty, edge of City's penalty area, and eventually Bournemouth can find another pass and another opportunity to put a ball into the box. Floated in. Haaland can't win the header towards the back post, and shot comes in and saved by Ederson, and out for another corner to Bournemouth. Bournemouth not giving up easy here. Just Traore with the effort, trying to catch Ederson out. Makes a save and out for a corner, so that'll do Ederson a world of good. A save as another shot comes in and Ederson makes another save. Took a little awkward bounce right in front of the keeper, that. Manages to gather it up and gather it up cleanly. Another save for Ederson. Here's Foden. Rico Lewis now. Game is very open. We might be 2-0 up, but it's very open. Been a good game of football. Here's Akanji. Phil Foden sends a long ball forward towards Haaland. Julian Alvarez tries to win that ball on the bounce. Eventually, Bournemouth can head it clear. Only saw his Gundogan, though. Inside the Bournemouth half. Gives it to Jack Grealish. It's considered City been 2-0 up. No real attacks have come down this left-hand side. So Grealish hasn't really been involved in this game that much. Not the best of passes, and Foden can't control that properly now for a throw into Bournemouth. John, that is good knowledge. I think I've been to Bournemouth once on the south coast. Since they're just knocking the ball around. Looking for a bit of possession. Try and calm this game down. Here's Jack Grealish now to Rico Lewis. Foden receives the ball. Direct run. Square it back post. Got a bad ball and a good header down from Julian Alvarez and straight into the arms of Neto. Now there's a chance for Man City. Was a chance. What do I think of the referee? Not done anything wrong, to be fair. Oh, that's a poor giveaway from Jack Grealish. Here's Bournemouth coming forward now. They managed to find the pass. That's a good turn from Solanke, and eventually Rico Lewis can make the interception there. Solanke got that touch right there. He could have been in on goal. And not a great ball forward from City and out of play for a throw. And I think Man City here will just be content with trying to get to half time. Oh, John, don't let Mick Sid hear you say a second team if had to have one would be Blackpool. He wouldn't like hearing that. The ball gets played into space by Bournemouth. That's good defending from Rico Lewis. Really good work. And he gets a free kick for City as well. Under pressure from Zamora. has been a good defensive display. City's defence, when they've needed to, have held firm. When the space has come in and Bournemouth have had chances to have efforts on goals, the saves have been made. In terms of out-and-out clear-cut opportunities, have been limited to nothing. It's just Bournemouth have overcommitted sending players forward. There's been space there. That's why Man City are 2-0 up and managed to find space a little bit too easily, I'm sure, for what Bournemouth would be thinking. But I respect that they've come here, they've played football and tried to make something happen rather than just sitting there with 10 men behind the ball, giving the ball away, having 20% possession, hoping just to stay in the game, to have that off one chance to maybe sneak something from the game. And that's a poor giveaway. Foden, he's in. Foden, 3-0. Game, set and match right before half-time. Foden set one-on-one. A poor giveaway from Bournemouth. And Manchester City cruising here at Bournemouth. A poor giveaway. I think it was Billing with the giveaway. And Phil Foden makes it 3-0 Manchester City. Billing gets it all wrong. All wrong. Foden just shrugs off the defender. He's got the whole net to aim for and just throws it into the back of the net. Foden's had a really good half of football here, and I think this will do Foden a world of good. Last time I saw Foden, he didn't play particularly well, I didn't think. And we're into the first 1 minute added on here. And Man City just 20 seconds away from half-time. This has been a good half of football from Manchester City. Bournemouth have been good. They've made mistakes when they didn't need to. Because if this game was 0-0, we'd be sweating with how well they've played. And the half-time whistle does go. This is a strange game. I feel like Bournemouth have had opportunities. They've limited Man City to 3 or 4 opportunities. City have just been really clinical in front of goal. Bournemouth haven't put their opportunities away. In what has, in my opinion, been a pretty end-to-end game. A little bit like a ding-dong battle. Man City have come away in 45 minutes 3-0 up. And to be honest, I'd be looking in the second half now and I'd be thinking Kalvin Phillips, Sergio Gomez, on you come, get some rest for some of the players and start looking towards Bristol City on Tuesday evening. In what's, again, fair amount of travelling. Germany, Bournemouth, Bristol. 3 not very easy places to get to. But there we go, Man City 3-0 up here at half-time. So we're going to go and have a look at the stats for this game, first and foremost, see what the stats are saying. So, Man City have had 67% possession compared with 33% possession for Bournemouth. 6 shots for Bournemouth, 1 on target, no goals. Man City with 10 shots, 4 on target, 3 goals. As I said, 4 good opportunities for City. 3 of them have been put into the back of the net. Clinical from City. Bournemouth, they've had chances. When they've had the chances, though, the shots haven't been on target. They've been high. They've been wide. I know Lerma had a shot early on. Solanke's got into some good positions. They've had a couple of blocked shots too. Just not quite worked out. But they've had a pop. Had a really good pop. And as I said, at times in the game, it was really end-to-end. And this 3-0 scoreline, certainly, it shows that Man City are completely dominating this game and it's all too easy. And I genuinely don't think that for this first half. Third of passes, 178 passes for Bournemouth, creating no clear-cut opportunities. Man City with 367 passes, creating 1 clear-cut opportunity. Bournemouth have had more corners than us. They've had 3 compared with 2 for Manchester City as well. Defensive stats dominated by Bournemouth. 2 block shots for them, 4 for Man City. Tackled 1, 5 for them, 8 for Manchester City. Aerial duels 1, 6 for them and 6 for Manchester City. So, as I said, this scoreline isn't fairly reflecting what I've seen from this game. Both keepers having 1 save to make apiece. It's Ederson that's keeping hold of his clean sheet, and hopefully he can keep hold of this by the end of this game and keep a much needed clean sheet would be brilliant. In terms of discipline, 5 fouls, 1 for Bournemouth, 4 for Manchester City, no yellow cards and no red cards. So Man City on course here to go 2 points behind once more Arsenal, who won earlier on today. So we're going to go around the grounds as we've had all the 3 o'clock kickoffs. So we can cover what's happened today in the world of football. So we'll start first in the Premier League. Newcastle were meant to be taking on Brighton in the early kickoff at St James's Park. That game's been postponed as Newcastle United are at Wembley tomorrow taking on Manchester United in the League Cup final. In the Premier League full-time scores, Everton 0, Aston Villa 2 in a massive result for Villa and a really poor result for Everton, putting them under a fair amount of pressure going into the match on Wednesday against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. So hopefully we can get a favour from Everton. If we can, then Man City may just be 1 good result away from Arsenal, but we'll see. All Man City can do, win the games, win our games. We'll be somewhere where we need to be. Leeds 1, Southampton 0. A big win for Leeds. I think the commentator before said it's Leeds' first victory in the Premier League since Bonfire Night, November 5th. That's crazy. Leicester City 0, Arsenal 1. Leicester City didn't really put up much of a fight, just held firm, and once Arsenal found that goal, game was done. And this is what I was going on about last week at Nottingham Forest. Sometimes you just need to be able to score 1 goal, see out the game, and win the game. And that's what Arsenal managed to do. Man City last week against Forest couldn't do that. And that's what City need to be able to learn to do starting this week and carrying on from now until the end of the season. West Ham 4, Nottingham Forest 0. I think 4 second half goals. 4 goals in the last 20 minutes actually from West Ham. A brace for Danny Ings, a goal for Declan Rice, and also a goal for Mikel Antonio's. Seeing West Ham come out 4 goals winners against Nottingham Forest. And currently at halftime here it's AFC Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 3. You do have Crystal Palace taking on Liverpool tonight as well at 7:45 p.m. GMT in the Premier League from South London. Into the Sky Bet Championship. Early kickoff, Coventry City 2, Sunderland 1. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to see the really funny video of the Newcastle fan coach overtaking the Sunderland fan coach travelling down the M1 this morning. That was funny to see. Go and check it out. It's on Twitter. Also, Birmingham City 0, Luton Town 1, Bristol City 1, Hull 0. Man City's opponents on Tuesday evening picking up a good victory at home in the Championship. That win has actually sent Bristol City up to 13th in the Championship. Burnley 4, Huddersfield 0. Burnley looking pretty good for a return under Vincent Kompany to the Premier League. Norwich City 2, Cardiff City 0. Preston North End 2, Wigan Athletic 1. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Blackburn Rovers 3, Reading 3, Blackpool 1, Sheffield United 1, Watford 0, Stoke 0, Millwall 1, and West Brom 2, Middlesbrough 0. In League 1, Oxford 0, Bristol Rovers 3, Barnsley 4, Derby County 1, Bolton Wanderers 2, Port Vale 1, Burton 0, Accrington Stanley 0, Charlton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Exeter 2, Cambridge 0, Fleetwood Town 1, Morecambe 0, Forest Green Rovers 1, Lincoln City 1, Milton Keynes Dons 0, Ipswich Town 1, Peterborough 5, Plymouth 2, Portsmouth 4, Cheltenham 0, and Shrewsbury 2, Wycombe Wanderers 0. Into League 2, Barrow 1, Stockport County 0, Colchester 0, Northampton 1, Crawley 2, Carlisle 5, Crewe 1, Rochdale 1, Doncaster 0, Bradford 1, Gillingham 2, AFC Wimbledon 1, Grimsby 2, Leyton Orient 2, Hartlepool 3, Walsall 3, Mansfield 2, Salford City 5, Newport County 0, Sutton United 2, Stevenage 0, Tranmere Rovers 1, and Swindon 3, Harrogate Town 0. Heading north of the border, Scotland, Aberdeen 1, Livingston 0, Kilmarnock 1, Motherwell 1, Ross County 4, Dundee United 0, and St Johnstone 1, St Mirren 1. In the Scottish Championship, Arbroath 0, Partick Thistle 0, Dundee 1, Inverness CT 1, Hamilton 1, Queen's Park 4, and Morton 2, Cove Rangers 1. In Scottish League 1, Airdronians 1, Falkirk 3, Our Athletic 1, Montrose 0, FC Edinburgh 3, Clyde 0, Peterhead 1, Kelty Hearts 1, and Queen of the South 0, Dunfermline Athletic 2. In Scottish League 2, Albion Rovers 0, Annan Athletic 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stenhousemuir 1, Dumbarton 1, Elgin 2, Forfar 0, Stirling Albion 0, and Stranraer 2, East Fife 0. In Spain, a couple of full-time scores. Espanyol 2, Mallorca 1, and Cadiz 1, Real Valenco 0. Half-time in the Madrid derby, it's Real Madrid 0, Atletico Madrid 0. And you've also got Valencia taking on Real Sociedad from 8 p.m. This evening. In Germany, Köln 0, Wolfsburg 2, Hertha Berlin 2, Augsburg 0, Leipzig 2, Frankfurt 1, Werder Bremen 3, Bochum 0, and Hoffenheim 0, Borussia Dortmund 1. You've got Schalke currently at half-time taking on Stuttgart, which is Schalke 2, Stuttgart 0. Into Italy, Serie A, 67th minute, it's Empoli 0, Napoli 2. You also got Lecce taking on Sassuolo at 7:45 p.m. GMT. In France, Angers 1, Lyon 3, full time. You got Montpellier taking on Lens at 8 p.m. Eredivisie in the Netherlands, Groningen 3, Excelsior 0, full time. Currently in the 40th minute, Heerenveen 1, Valvik 0. You've also got AZ Alkmaar taking on Cambuur at 7 p.m. and NEC Breda taking on Volendam at 8 p.m. You've also got matches in Portugal too, finally. Aruca 2, Casapia 0 full time, Martimo 0, St Clara 1 in the 25th minute, and you got Vizela taking on Benfica as well. We have got National League. I was just going to say we've not done National League. Altrincham 4, Solihull 1, Barnet 4, Aldershot 1, Borehamwood 2, Scunthorpe 0, Chesterfield 0, Oldham 1, big win that for Oldham. Eastleigh 0, Bromley 0, Halifax 0, Maidenhead 1, Maidstone 1, Gateshead 1, Torquay United 1, Southend 2, Woking 1, Wealdstone 1, Wrexham's picked up another win. Wrexham 3, Dorking Wanderers 1, and York City 2, Yeovil Town 1. You also got Notts County taking on Dagenham and Redbridge in the 48th minute. It's currently Notts County 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1. In the National League North, AFC Fylde 3, Kings Lynn Town 3. Let's have a look at what happened in that game. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. 3-2, 3-3. Blown a 3-1 lead there, Fylde against Kings Lynn, who are top. Could be costly, that. AFC Telford 0, Blyth Spartans 1, Banbury 2, Farsley Celtic 2, Boston United 0, Peterborough Sports 0, Bradford PA 1, Chester 2, Chorley 2, Buxton 2, Curzon Ashton 0, Alfreton 1, Darlington 0, Kidderminster Harriers 0, Gloucester 2, Spennymoor Town 0, Kettering 1, Brackley Town 0, Scarborough Athletic 4, Leamington 1, and Southport 0, Hereford 1. And finally, National League North, Bath City 0, Tunbridge Angels 1, Chelmsford 0, Ebbsfleet 1, Cheshunt 1, Eastbourne 0, Concord Rangers 0, Weymouth 5, Dartford 0, Oxford 0, Farnborough 0, Braintree 1, Hampton and Richmond 2, Dulwich Hamlet 0, Hemel Hempstead Town 2, Haverton Waterlooville 0, St Albans 1, Slough Town 2, Taunton 0, Dover 1, Welling 1, Chippenham Town 1, and Worthing 2, Hungerford Town 1. There we go, everybody. Right, I've got some half-time entertainment for you guys to enjoy for a few minutes. It's provided for by my partner channel, Mixed. Links and details are in the description. Go and check him out, like and subscribe over there. This is him trying some Japanese sake for the very first time. This is the, bear with me, the Sawantosauru sake review. Enjoy.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another review video. As I said last time at the end of the last episode, I've waited a long time to get a sake on this channel. So with sake, it's a Japanese spirit. It's rice and water fermented. That's how you make sake. It's rice and water, simple as that. But it's very, very hard to find in the UK. I cannot express that highly enough how hard it is to find a sake in the UK. I've searched low, I've searched high and wide on all over the UK. So the best I've found so far is this Sour Natsuru Deluxe Sake, which I got from Waitrose for £13, which I think is an excellent price. £13 for a sake, a nice spirit, and I can't wait to try it. So already, I'll give my price, I'll give that 9 out of 10. I think it's a banging price, £13. It's not expensive at all, that. So design, I like it. It comes in a little box. It's a simple things like that. Nice little souvenir, a little bit of a gift. 8 out of 10. So design, so I will open it now. So I will give you a close-up of the bottle, just so you can see it up. So at the back of it, Sour Natsuru, it says it's, at the back of it says it's Sour Natsuru Sake wine, which is quite interesting that they call it a wine. So yeah, you get 720ml or 72 cl. Percentage is 14.5%, so it is like a wine, so the 14%. This is 14.5%. So I'll give you a close-up, like I said, of the bottle now. That's pretty much straight to the point, really, the bottle. It's nothing exquisite, nothing beautiful. I'd give it a solid 6 out of 10. It's straight to the point like that. It's got a nice little label, but I think it's straight to the point with design. That's what I'm going off, really, the design of the bottle. So 6 out of 10 I'd give it. So the most important thing now, guys, is how does it taste? I've waited a long time to try it. I'm not too sure how sake should taste, since I've never had one before. The other thing I do know with sake is you can try it cold. It might be best in the fridge, but you can also try it lukewarm, which is what I'm doing. I'm trying this lukewarm. There's all one bit to do. Gone pie. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know if it should taste like that. Oh. Oh. I don't like it. I do not like that. Oh, I'm going to keep trying it. I really won't like it. I've waited a long time to have a sake, but I'm not liking the taste of this at all. Oh, it's been the Japanese drink, this. I mean, I don't think it's doing it justice. This cannot be doing it justice at all. Taste a minute, I can't give this any higher than 2. I've got to be fair, 2 out of 10. I do not like this at all. I keep drinking, trying to like it, trying to get my taste bud ready for it, but it's nothing bland. It's just not a nice taste. It doesn't.
Sorry, Mixed, we're going to have to cut you short there because the players are out for the second half. That was a quick half time, wasn't it? City attacking from right to left, Bournemouth attacking from left to right. Haaland's going to get us underway right now, and we're away for the second half. Man City already 3-0 up here. A job looking good. It doesn't look like any substitutions have been made from Manchester City at half time. I'm wondering how long it's going to be before we do see the likes of Kalvin Phillips and Sergio Gomez. And Maximo Perrone. Rico, thanks very much for tuning in. Yeah, you make a good point there. Is it Perrone time? They could come on to make his debut, to be fair here. There's a long ball from Bournemouth played upfield. It's a good ball as well, and they pick the ball up. So pass comes in. Nathan Ake is not aware of what's around him. He gets pressed and mistake forced, and a cross can come in. And Ruben Dias has been solid for City so far this evening. And again, in the right place at the right time. Again, Bournemouth just want to have a go. I just don't think Man City could have this game any more comfortable than what they want, right? What they've got it right now, really. Any update on Ilkay Gundogan? Right now, Barcelona wanting to talk with Gundogan. I think they've held talks with his agent over breakfast last week. Gundogan keeping his options open because the new contract hasn't been signed as of yet. Man City want him on a new deal. Gundogan wants the new deal, but I think there's a bit of a difference on length of contract. I think City happy to give another 12 month extension. And Gundogan looking for 2 or 3 years. We did have this situation with Riyad Mahrez last year, if you remember, and in the end we ended up giving him an extra 3 years. So we'll see. Shivanch, thanks very much for tuning in. What year did I become a City fan? We're on year number 22 this year. During the push, during the old Division 1. Used to listen game after game after game on BBC Radio Manchester to Man City's promotion push. That's a great ball into the channel and Gundogan can't square it across. Alvarez can pick the ball up. He can square it across. Neto gets his foot to it and cleared. Some good stuff from Man City in the end. And Shivanj, what do you mean? Previous club, favourite club? Man City's always been my one and only, I'm afraid. I don't have any other club. Started supporting in 2001. We're on year 22 now. Started supporting when I was not even 6. I've got no foreign team either. I don't mind watching a good football match. I don't mind visiting football as a neutral. I don't mind watching different teams and getting different experiences, but I just don't... supporting them is much different to doing that. Watching religiously game after game after game after game. I follow other teams in other sports, though. That's much the same. Grealish going more through the centre is Foden on the right hand side. Cross comes in, headed clear by Bournemouth. Akanji gives it to Foden. Here's Rodri now. Work to the right hand side, finds Foden. Here's Rico Lewis. Manuel Akanji. City just working it backwards. Again, we're getting back to... City have had an opportunity here to put something into the box. There's 3 players waiting on the edge of the penalty area, waiting to put balls in. Rico Lewis eventually puts a low ball in. Foden goes second time and nearly cleared, not half cleared, and into the back of the net. Julian Alvarez gets the 4th. This might be an own goal. But Man City are rampant here with a point to prove. And City 4-0 up here at Dean Court and well on their way to 3 points. I'm wondering now, has Alvarez bagged himself a brace or is it going to be an own goal? Let's have a look. It's on target and it's going in. It should be an Alvarez goal. I'm not sure it was going in, so I think this is going to be an own goal. Interesting. I think this might be a Chris Metham own goal. But don't matter. City 4-0 up, and another impressive performance from Julian Alvarez and Man City, getting the substitution bench prepared. Oh, let's get excited. Pep Guardiola's going to the bench. First manager since 2018 in the Champions League not to use one substitution in midweek against Leipzig. And Sergio Gomez, Kalvin Phillips, ready to come on. These two players will be starting against Bristol City on Tuesday. And they're ready to come on here and get a good 40 minutes. And this is what I was saying before. Man City have got this game wrapped up. Make the changes, give the players who need a rest, and get these players that haven't had that many minutes. There's a perfect opportunity to get them 40 minutes. Go and give it to them. And I think Maximo Perrone would be another player I'd be looking towards. If you're looking at the bench and thinking who's going to be starting against Bristol City, who might need 15, 20 minutes of football, competitive action in their belts. Nathan Ake, it's a poor pass from Nathan Ake to Jack Grealish, and why Bournemouth's chosen to keep that ball in there, I have no idea. And they've given the ball away now. Nathan Ake slips. Don't forget, subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Leave a thumbs up. We're just 6 likes away from being halfway to my goal of 100 likes. We're nearly at 50. 6 away, so any help towards that would be great. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. My team's made up of Man City players. How are we doing? Let's have a look. BetMate then. Julie says, Peptastic. There's Foden. Has this been Man City's been brilliant? Or has this been Bournemouth's been too open? Is it a bit of both? Gundogan peels away into the penalty area. Can't take the touch. I like to think that this is just Man City being at their scintillating best when the opportunities are there. Man City have put them away. And that's the situation that we're in. And this is what happens when you get that killer second goal. Have a look. Currently in 24th place, not doing bad at all. Captain Erling Haaland getting me 12 points. So Rodri's going to be the first player coming off. And Ilkay Gundogan is the other. So Gundogan bags me a couple of points here on BetMate. Foden's got me 11 points. Could do a Jackie G goal. Could put me right up where I want to be. That's what I'm thinking. So Phillips comes on for Rodri. He'll sit in front of the defence, and Sergio Gomez on for Gundogan. I assume that Sergio Gomez is going to get given a more advanced role here. It looks like Sergio Gomez is playing in midfield, yeah, in a more advanced role. Bit too easy this for Man City, really. See some empty seats appearing in Dean Court as well. Oh, the Vitality Stadium as Kalvin Phillips makes a good interception there for City. Here's Ruben Dias. I wonder what the team's going to be for Bristol City then. I presume Laporte's going to be good to go. So it would be Ortega-Moreno in goal. I think Lewis will start in that game. I think Laporte will start in that game. I have a feeling Akanji will start in that game. And potentially, maybe Nathan Ake as well. Kalvin Phillips in the middle. Sergio Gomez might be playing in a more advanced role, maybe. Give a rest for Rodri and Gundogan. As a cross comes in and a good interception that from Kalvin Phillips. I think we'll see Bernardo in a more advanced role. I think Alvarez will start in that game against Bristol City. Kevin De Bruyne might well play in that game as well. So what would it be? A back three? Akanji? Or Akanji and Laporte and Ake. Rico Lewis sitting alongside Kalvin Phillips, Sergio Gomez, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne, Julian Alvarez, something like that. There you go, officially a Chris Metham own goal, not Julian Alvarez's goal. As Phil Billing comes off and Adam Smith comes off and Ryan Fredericks and Joe Rothwell comes on. Do I see Perrone? I cannot see Maximo Perrone. Surely he's going to get some minutes here. Surely you give him 5 or 10 minutes. If he's been working hard enough to make the Man City bench ahead of some of the other players like Cole Palmer, he's clearly done something right on the training ground. And if that's the case, then he deserves to be in the squad. And if he's working that hard and obviously rated high enough, then should be getting minutes as well, in my opinion. Cross comes in from Gomez. Headed clear, only as far as Foden. Alvarez, back to Foden. Ake! Has a shot. I'm not sure Ake will want to score past his old club. Certainly don't think he'll celebrate if he did. That was a cracking effort from Ake. Good save from Neto. Good catch. And Kalvin Phillips doesn't make the interception, doesn't take the foul, and Manuel Akanji's there to get the Man City a nice goal kick. I think Kalvin Phillips is going into the book. He is going into the book, and Kalvin Phillips is saying, I've only just come on. It's the first thing I've done wrong. A bit harsh to give a yellow card there to Kalvin Phillips. Misses the tackle. Takes the man. Doesn't even get a full foul in. Alvarez breaks forward here for Man City. Looks for Erling Haaland. Blocked and out for a corner to Manchester City. An hour in here at the Vitality Stadium. It's AFC Bournemouth 0. Manchester City 4. Bournemouth conceded the most goals from set pieces this season, 13 so far. Corner comes in, flicked on by Nathan Ake and loops over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick to AFC Bournemouth. Rico says, do I reckon we can win the UEFA Champions League? Could I make a video on this? I won't be doing any videos on that as of rating Man City's chances anytime soon. But mainly because the answer is, can Man City win it? Yes. Are we going to win it? I'm not sure. We'll get a better idea if Man City make it through to the quarterfinals and we have a look at the draw and who we'd meet in the quarterfinals and semi-finals. You get a better idea there. It's good work play here. Julian Alvarez has a shot and out. Is blocked by AFC Bournemouth and Bournemouth can bring it clear. I've only just realised I forgot to change my battery in my camera at half-time. And it's now running quite low as Manuel Akanji goes in late, and that'll be a yellow card for Akanji. Yeah, Kalvin Phillips just got one, and Manuel Akanji's getting a yellow card now. 28 minutes remaining here, 4-0. Man City lead. It's late from Akanji. It's not a good challenge. Andrew, hello, thanks for tuning in. Ball gets drifted into the penalty area from Bournemouth from that free kick. Headed clear by City, and Jack Grealish can bring the ball away for City here. He tries to thread a pass in towards Foden. Didn't do a bad job of it, but Bournemouth can deal with that eventually. Julia asks, Real Madrid, team to beat. Can we beat them? Yeah, we can beat them. Beat them last season at the Etihad and incredibly unlucky not to beat them at the Bernabeu. Sucker punched at the end, played a near perfect game. We can beat them. De Bruyne to start against Leipzig. If he's fit at the time, he'll start and could be crucial for City. Could really be crucial for City. So Man City looking to make a point here. Can they keep pushing? Can they grab another goal or two? It'd be nice to have a 6 or a 7. We spoke before the game. When did Man City last create and look like they were going to score 6 goals? We did it against United because that's the level that we're looking for. But since then, we're not really seeing it. And is today the day? And both get themselves a corner. Rico Lewis goes down, smiling. Wanted a free kick. Felt like he'd had his arm pulled. He did have his arm pulled. It should have been a free kick. Corner then for Bournemouth and some defending for City to do. If they want to keep hold of this clean sheet, they've got work to do. Gets floated in and it's ping-ponging around and they can't get a shot away yet. They can now. It's cleared. They want a handball and eventually it hits a City player's knee. They've not got this cleared yet, City, and still around the penalty area. Can they get a ball in here, Bournemouth? They've got half a yard of space. And to the near post and out for a goal kick to Manchester City. The fans asking the question, they wanted a handball. I think they're just appealing on Kalvin Phillips' when the first shot goes in, but it hits his leg. There's no handball in there. There's no penalty. Play on. Yeah, play on. Referee says VAR's checked it. Nothing. On we go. Ederson then makes the pass to Ruben Dias. Back to Ederson once more. He'll send it long. Haaland wins his header. Kalvin Phillips mops that up. Rico Lewis now to Haaland. Was sat on the floor, jumps up and gets that ball. Here's Sergio Gomez. To Rico Lewis. Ruben Dias now. To Kalvin Phillips. Nathan Ake. Gives it to Ruben Dias. Rico Lewis gets barged into the back and that's out. Rico, I think the chair's currently not available as far as I'm aware. I've got the other chairs on the website that you can check out, but this chair that I've got at the moment I don't think is available yet. I think it is a limited edition chair. So once they've had the stock, once the stock's gone, I think that's that. Until I get a new delivery. Bournemouth again committing players forward. Good defending from Jack Grealish. Here is Kalvin Phillips now to Jack Grealish. Rico, I presume you're on about FIFA career mode. And for me to be able to do that, I'd need to have the game of FIFA, which I've not had now for a few years. I don't really game anymore. I want to play the Hogwarts Legacy game, but I don't really game, so I've not bought it. As good as it looks. Just so busy doing YouTube, to be honest. Eats away a lot of my spare time. City preparing a couple more substitutions. I'm just trying to see if I can work out who's coming on. 43-inch TV right next to me. I still can't work out who that is that's coming on. And Bournemouth give the ball away. And it starts to go a little bit scrappy. City subs are just taking the sting away from this game. I think the biggest problem we have is Gundogan was sitting behind the striker and he was pivoting so well. Gundogan's had a very good game for City here. They brought Sergio Gomez on, and Gomez has just been kind of gravitating towards a more defensive position with Kalvin Phillips. In actual fact, he's got the support of Rico Lewis there, so we've always got 5 defenders. So Sergio Gomez really should be sitting closer to the strikers. They're getting a bit isolated, and it's allowing Bournemouth to have a little bit more of the ball, which means they're going to create more. Ederson's going to launch that instead of safely rolled it out to Sergio Gomez. As we're over 50 likes now, which is great. 47 likes to go, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description. And also in the live chat. So a couple of more subs are being made by City. Our 3rd and 4th subs. It is, one of them looks like Riyad Mahrez. And the other... I can't work out who the other is. Waiting for the ball to go out. Next time it goes out, City will bring on a couple more subs. So I'm wondering, Mahrez is going to come on. Who's going to come off? Might it be Haaland? Man City might just be experimenting a shape here for Bristol City. Here's Rico Lewis coming forward. Gives the ball to Foden. Gets a cute little ball play towards the near post. Doesn't quite work. Nathan Ake does well. And here's Jack Grealish into the penalty area. And Bournemouth can scramble it clear. And Erling Haaland commits a foul. And that'll allow City to do their substitutions. So firstly, it's Jack Grealish that's going to come off. And Riyad Mahrez is going to come on. Mahrez will go on the right and Foden will go on the left. And we are going to see, making his debut for Manchester City, is Maximo Perrone. So Jack Grealish, the first player to go off for City. I think Erling Haaland is the other. Erling Haaland's going to come off and Maximo Perrone is going to come off. Sorry, Erling Haaland's going to come off and Maximo Perrone is going to come on. Erling Haaland grabbing himself another Premier League goal for Manchester City today. And he's going to get himself a week off, you would think. I don't think we're going to see him against Bristol City. And Maximo Perrone makes his debut. Now, they said when we signed him we weren't going to see Maximo Perrone this season. They didn't think he was ready and they were thinking about loaning him. He comes to City, starts training, comes early to Man City and starts his training. Obviously impressed enough to be in the squad a couple of times and now gets some minutes on the pitch, gets 20 minutes, making his Manchester City debut in the Premier League as well. Obviously highly rated, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Maximo Perrone can do as Erling Haaland just gingerly walks off for Manchester City. Looks a bit tight. He's definitely getting rested against Bristol City, Erling Haaland. We've got a big game next weekend against Newcastle. Bournemouth will take on Arsenal next weekend. Arsenal's got a match against Everton on Wednesday first. Game in hand, the shot comes in and deflected and out for a corner. A shot came in there from Sergio Gomez, it was. Goes over the top of the crossbar. Seamus, you spot on. Napoli look very good, looking good in Serie A. Looking good in the Champions League. And definitely a team that could go all the way. Got to be in it to win it. Corner then for City. Near post. Flicked on from Ruben Dias and out for another corner to Manchester City. I'm very conscious here of my camera. My camera is now on 1 bar of battery. I'm not sure it's going to make it through the next 17 minutes. So if it cuts off, you should still be able to hear me. So I'll continue. The screen will go black, but I'll continue speaking about what's happening and I'll just replace my batteries. Kalvin Phillips has a shot blocked. Not the greatest hits from Kalvin Phillips. Anyway, City can have the ball back once more. Here's Rico Lewis, gives it to Riyad Mahrez. He puts a ball into the box and collected by the goalkeeper, Neto, and Bournemouth can come forward. And I suspect probably we'll see Kevin De Bruyne before the end. Probably give him 5 or 10 minutes. Bring him on like the 85th minute or something. Let him have 5 minutes plus 3 or 4 minutes, whatever's going to be added on. Make sure he's good to go because he'll probably be starting against Bristol City as well, as all attention from here is going to turn towards the FA Cup. And Man City looking to try and make a bid to reach the quarterfinals. Won't be an easy game that against Bristol City. They'll be well up for it, as I said. It's a sold-out match. No replays. Straight knockout match. Good practice for Man City. We've got a match against RB Leipzig coming up at the Etihad over 90 minutes. A straight knockout match. That's going to be a straight knockout match against Bristol City as well. So good practice. We're into the final 15 minutes here. Bournemouth get themselves a free kick and they can make their first change of the game. So Ahmed Traore comes off and Jaden Anthony comes on. Kane says, not been a big fan of this back three style. Don't think we have anyone that can do the same job Cancelo did. This back three's, you need workhorses to make it work. You need workhorses. You need players that are going to run and run and run, and the system does not work if it's taking passengers. And I can see Man City, if they stick with the back three, Cancelo not returning back to Manchester City. What I can see is Man City, rather than going out there spending hundreds of millions of pounds bringing in the top talent of players, I can see Man City being rather tactical about their signings and going about bringing players in who are going to work hard, that are going to run a lot. One of the big players we could lose in the summer is Bernardo Silva. He is a player that will just never stop running, never stop working hard. He wants it. He tries his best. We've got it in Jack Grealish as well. He's another player, won't stop running, won't stop working hard. And that, I think, is what Man City will be looking for. They'll be looking for versatile players that can play on the left, play on the right, go through the centre, drop deep, can attack, can create, can pass, can distribute, can tackle, the complete package. I can see Man City going out there and signing 2 or 3 players like that this summer, and that'll be Man City's summer business if they stick with this back three. It won't necessarily be a player being brought in for a position. It'll be a player being brought in for the squad to improve the squad and its depth and what they can bring in, and some fresh energy. It'd be brilliant to go out there and sign Jude Bellingham. The question has to be asked, can Jude Bellingham sit deep, receive the ball off Ederson near his own penalty area? Is he going to be running for 90 minutes and pop into the right place at the right time? If Ilkay Gundogan leaves, can Jude Bellingham take over that role of being able to supply the striker whilst also having a brilliant touch? Is he going to be able to do non-stop running? I'm sure he can. He'd be a real asset for Manchester City. But I can see Man City having a really good look around the world at some top talent, and I wouldn't rule out City going out there and signing some upcoming talents to help improve the depth of the team. Already seen it with the likes of Alvarez and Perone being brought in, and I wouldn't rule out 1 or 2 more South American top talents coming in to help improve that depth. Declan Rice has been getting linked with a move to Manchester City very recently as well. He's another player I can see City being interested in. You think to yourself automatically, he's very much like Rodri. He's going to be playing in a rotated option to Rodri, and it means Kalvin Phillips is going to leave. And I don't necessarily agree with that. Kyle Walker is going to come on for Man City's 5th and final change. So no minutes for Kevin De Bruyne, as Nathan Ake is the player that makes way. And Kyle Walker comes on. I'm wondering then, does this mean Sergio Gomez is going to go on the left-hand side? Kyle Walker's going to be given more freedom in the middle. I don't know. Who knows? This is Pep Guardiola. Perone's already on the pitch, Rico. Perone came on for Haaland. Corner then from Foden. Comes in towards the edge of the penalty area. Rico Lewis has a shot. He has a second bite at it, and again blocked. Foden's appealing for something. He sends a ball deep, and ball won by the goalkeeper. So don't forget, leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. Can Man City keep that clean sheet? We've got a result here to work with. A result to build on for next week's game against Newcastle. And I think we've only got, potentially, if we beat Bristol City with how the schedule works, we've got Bristol City, Newcastle at home, then 11th, it's a away match against Crystal Palace. Then Leipzig in the Champions League. Then West Ham at home. And the West Ham at home match is going to be postponed if Man City make it to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And so if that is the case, it all depends on when they're going to play that West Ham game, because there is a little bit of a gap in the schedule between the Newcastle game and the Crystal Palace game where that West Ham game could be played, but Man City could choose to play it at a later date. I reckon if Man City get a say on when that game can be, and if West Ham are happy to play that earlier than when it was meant to be, if Man City are trailing Arsenal, I would strongly suggest Man City play that game earlier to try and get them points on the board, to put pressure onto Arsenal, because if you've played the game more but you've got the points, you'd rather be in a position where you've already got the points than not and have the game in hand. I'd rather have the points than the games in hand. Pressure can be a fine old funny thing, and knowing what you need to do can be very strange and very funny as well. Arsenal's not got the easiest of ends to the season. So Man City just allow Bournemouth to run right through. Sky Sports putting this schedule on there. So we've got 5 games to go until the... Bournemouth been a brilliant chance here. And there goes Man City's clean sheet. Jefferson Lerma with a goal. Again, questions are going to get asked, even though we're 4-1 up. Man City... As Bertrand says there, we just can't keep a clean sheet to save our lives. And Man City are but just a little bit too casual. Again, just not... They should have been taking the player out much earlier. They commit players forward. Ruben Dias can't make the interception. And as he can't make the interception, it allows Lerma the effort on goal. It's a good hit. Ederson's angry because he wanted that clean sheet. And it is frustrating. It is frustrating. My camera battery's now completely ran out of bars. So my camera will go off within the next minute or two and I'll need to put my spare one in. I'll get it ready. So the camera will go off. It'll take me about a minute to replace it as well. But it's here. As Ederson's nearly sold short there. I feel sorry for Ederson because he's not done anything wrong. He's made the saves when he's needed to. That goal isn't his fault. It's just with how Man City play, we just always look like we're going to concede. I am not confident that Man City will keep a clean sheet. And City just give the ball away again. I mean, this has been a good performance from Man City today. We've put our opportunities away. This result today is what should have happened against Nottingham Forest last week if we'd got that killer second goal. I always fancy that a team's going to score past Man City because defensively we look a little bit shaky. I've been impressed with Ruben Dias. There's been little areas that I've been impressed with. I do think our defence could do with being shored up a little bit in the summer. That means maybe one or two of the defenders might need to leave if there's any that are unhappy or etc. etc. Then that might be the case. Should have been a better ball from Julian Alvarez to Phil Foden there, and it'd have been in on goal. When was the last time we kept a Premier League clean sheet? I know we kept a clean sheet against Arsenal in a strong defensive performance in the FA Cup. I think was our last one. But in the Premier League, I think it's Wolves. This should have been a clean sheet today. We were 4-0 up. There's fair credit to Bournemouth, though. Bournemouth worked hard. This is a very unusual game. This is a game where Bournemouth haven't stopped working hard. They haven't stopped all game. They probably do deserve that goal for how hard they've worked. As my camera has gone off, you should all still be able to hear me. So I'll just put another battery in. The offside flag has gone up against Manchester City. I can see Newcastle scoring past City, to be honest. See that being a close game. We'll see. I think a lot for Newcastle's season depends on what happens tomorrow. We're just starting to see them slowly just dip a little bit in form as a good ball gets squared through. I'm being very careful here not to show the game, so you can have a look at my wire setup instead. I don't want to be hit for any copyrights or anything. I've got my battery in, so I have to be very careful as I lift this around. There we go. We'll get the camera. It's not straight. There we go. Live on air. Battery change. Bournemouth back in again. It's a good challenge from Ruben Dias. And there we go. Good to go. Need to put my battery on charge, actually. We go. Camera battery on charge. Okay, leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated if you are enjoying the content. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. I wonder what that Bournemouth goal's done for BetMate now. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm up to 15th now. Jack Grealish got me 9 points. Haaland with 14. Shot comes in from Bournemouth, and that could have been a second. So we'll see how we end up scoring on that. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Oh, that's great work from City. And Alvarez can come away with the ball. He wants the ball nice and early. Here's Rico Lewis. Gives it to Sergio Gomez. He might hit this. He will, and gets it wrong. Gets it wrong. Now, we're nearly on to 60 likes. Let's see if we can get into the 60s. That would be good. Here's Sergio Gomez. Good work from Sergio Gomez. Rico Lewis now as we're into the first of 3 minutes added on here. Here's Ederson. Gives it to Kalvin Phillips now. Here is Manuel Akanji. Maximo Perrone gives it to Kyle Walker. I wonder if Perrone is going to make his first start against Bristol City or not. We'll see. I'm not sure he will. Here's Rico Lewis to Sergio Gomez. Tries to ping a ball in towards Mahrez or Alvarez. Doesn't manage to successfully do it. Kane, my man of the match. Probably Ilkay Gundogan. He's sat in that midfield role so well. I've noticed when he's not been on the pitch, he's found the passes. He's found a way to make the game tick along. I think Rico Lewis would be up there as a shout. Foden I've been pretty impressed with in this game. I think Ilkay Gundogan's what's made life very simple and straightforward for City this evening. So he gets my man of the match. Mahrez into the penalty area, goes down, wants a penalty. I think he's got a free kick. Imagine VAR will have a look at where this was, but the referee looked like he was in a pretty good spot, that this was just... So the contact comes in inside the box, but the fouling starts on the outside of the penalty area, literally right on the outside. I think he goes through the back of him before stepping forward to take him out. And that's a free kick. It's a silly challenge to make. So this will probably be the last opportunity of the game. This is a good range, this, for Mahrez. Kalvin Phillips is also stood over it. The problem is it's right on the edge of the penalty area, so it's very difficult to get something up and down. They've got a player lying down in front of the wall. I think Man City is probably going to go and try and go through the wall here, because this is very difficult to get this over the wall, up and down. Mahrez, though, tries it, and it's inaccurate over the top of the crossbar. It's high, it's wide, it's not too far off. You see what he's going for. He's going for the top corner. He's not a million miles away there, Mahrez. Not going to have any impact on the game, though. Man City are going to come out winners. Bournemouth fans are leaving. We're waiting for the full time as the 3 minutes are up. Keeper sends it long, slips. That probably sums up Bournemouth's evening here. Goal kick and slips as Man City return back to winning ways. We narrow that gap from 5 points after Arsenal's earlier victory against Leicester away from home. We've narrowed it back down to 2. Man City continue their little unbeaten run that they've been on since our defeat at the beginning of February against Tottenham Hotspur. We're back to winning ways after 2 consecutive draws against Forest in the Premier League last weekend and against Leipzig in the Champions League, and Man City can follow that up with a win here, plus 3 points. I said at the beginning of the stream, all we care about today is 3 points, picking up them important 3 points, and then walking away and heading into that match against Bristol City on Tuesday evening, and just keeping our focus one game at a time. And that's exactly what we've done. It's been a clean, proper, professional performance. My only niggling complaint is Man City just don't seem to be able to keep clean sheets, whether we're 0-0, 1-0 up, or 4-0 up. We just don't seem to be able to keep clean sheets. That, to me, was a reward for Bournemouth and how hard they've worked. It's been a very unusual, very strange game of football for Manchester City today, because Bournemouth looked encouraged, they've attacked, they've come forward, they've looked to make things happen. When I saw they were going with a 5-4-1, I was expecting them to park a bus and sit deep. They haven't parked a bus, they haven't sat deep, they've looked to play football, they've looked to send men forward, and they've looked to cause Man City problems. Man City ultimately, though, too much quality and managed to have a clinical touch, and most importantly, something that we didn't have last week was getting that all-important killer second goal, which has really settled the team down. And I think we'd have been looking last weekend at a pretty similar result, a 3 or a 4 goals for Man City last week against Nottingham Forest, had we had our shooting boots on, and would have picked up plus 3 points, and there wouldn't have been that many problems heading into this game, and we could have been top of the Premier League right now. But it's happened. It is what it is. We seem to have learnt our lesson. We've got our shooting boots and our scoring boots back on. Erling Haaland's back in scoring form as well. So we've got something to work with and something to build with towards our match against Bristol City on Tuesday evening in the FA Cup 5th round, and next weekend's game against Newcastle United in the Premier League for you guys to look forward to as well. So yeah, thank you, everybody, for watching. Much appreciated. I am just going to very quickly go through the stats for this game. just so we can draw up some conclusions, and then I will end the stream there, and I will have my review video up within the hour for you guys to enjoy. And City Till I Die said we're all Newcastle fans tomorrow. I think I can confirm that all City fans are Newcastle fans tomorrow. Nobody wants Man United winning that trophy tomorrow. So what we want to see, Newcastle doing the biz. As Bournemouth in 19th place now, struggling. And Julia, thanks for tuning in. And it was very nice to see Pep telling all the team, go over there, applaud the fans. Getting to Bournemouth isn't easy, so showing appreciation to the fans of the hard work and dedication is really good to see. So in terms of stats for this game, Man City 66% possession, 20 attempts, 5 on target, 4 goals. Clinical from Man City with the shots on target. Can improve on their shots to shots on target ratio. Could have scored even more goals. But as it is, clean, proper performance from Manchester City. Bournemouth, 13 attempts, 2 on target. 1 save for Ederson to make. The other, a goal, a good strike from Jefferson Lerma. And yeah, it's just disappointing. I think that's the only disappointment we've got from this game is we've actually conceded a goal in 4-0 up. Probably should have been a clean sheet for Manchester City, but it happens. And as I said, it's a reward for Bournemouth for how hard they have worked in this game. In terms of attacking stats, no clear-cut chances for Bournemouth, 1 for Manchester City. In terms of corners, 4 for Bournemouth, 6 for Manchester City. Offsides, 1 for Bournemouth, 2 for Manchester City. Defensive stats, it's still dominated by City. 7 block shots for City, 6 for Bournemouth. 8 tackles, 1 for Bournemouth, 18 for Manchester City. And aerial duels, 9 apiece. So that's unusual. 2 saves for Neto to make, 1 for Manchester City. In terms of discipline, 10 fouls won by Bournemouth, 9 for Manchester City. 2 yellow cards apiece, but no red cards for either team. Yellow cards today going to Chris Metham and Dango Uatra of AFC Bournemouth. And for Manchester City, yellow cards going today to Manuel Akanji and Kalvin Phillips. So there we go. One final thing to do is to look at today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. You can go and check them out. Links and details, they're in the description. And also in the live chat, the pot, the £500 pot, the winner has been claimed and it's getting shared at the top. So £112.50 each for both Ben Watt TV and Stokey Parkin, both winning £112.50, scoring 58 points. JSGC falling 10 points behind them. I finish in 15th place, which is good because £5 entry fee. I've ended up winning £7 by finishing in 15th place. A position I've shared with a couple of other people as well means JSGC quids in. BetMate, good way to go and make money. Go and check it out. Links and details there in the description. We're having lots of fun as well. So that would be much appreciated. But thank you already for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Social media links, they're in the description below and on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Leave a thumbs up. We're at 61 likes. Let's see if we can get into the 70s in the post-production. That would be absolutely fantastic. And also don't forget as well to leave your thoughts if you're watching this after the game then in the comments below. Live chat still running for another minute or so. So yeah, do go and check that out and let me know your thoughts of this victory for Manchester City in the live chat. Thank you very much to BetMate for sponsoring today's live watch along too. Go and check them out. Links and details there in the description, also in the live chat. And frankly, I just want to thank you guys as well for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that's left a comment and also left a thumbs up today and checked out today's video sponsor, BetMate. It is much appreciated by me. Once again, showing love, dedication and support to the JSGC channel. So that is absolutely fantastic. And we'll be back with all of the reflections and review for this game out within the hour. Hoping to do some collab work with City Extra tomorrow. Also got a preview coming up for the Bristol City game, and we'll be back with all the build-up for that Bristol City game with another live watch-along live on Tuesday evening. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and I will see you again Tuesday evening. I think the game's kicking off at 8 p.m, so we'll be live at 7:30 p.m. GMT Tuesday evening. I'll see you then. Man City, though, back to winning ways, plus 3 points with a good solid performance 4 goals. Haaland back in amongst the goals as well. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. I've been JSGC. Peace. Ciao for now.